The kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away. And it'll come out to the 25. Austin not going to try and return it. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And they come into this one off the loss over the weekend. But you say if you're going to play a Thursday night game, this is the week to do it.
It certainly is, because you get right back out there. You don't have time to dwell on things. And look, your game plan is going to be a little more limited, but so is theirs. So that's when you just appeal to your top players. Guys, you make plays in this one, we out-execute them, we can walk away with a win.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. It's caught by Mike Evans. They get 14 back, but it leads now to a 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create.
And Locke throws another one. It's intercepted. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football. I'm not sure that the wheels, Charles, are coming completely off, but they're shaking a little bit. That's 3 interceptions, and now interceptions here on back-to-back drives.
And I think about what a Hall of Fame coach told me, that he always told his teams, when a mistake happens, just move on to the next play. Let it go. Hard to do when you're throwing this many interceptions. That's exactly the attitude that has to be adopted.
Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Atkins. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's 3rd down. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is 3rd and long. It's Barkley on the counter, and he's going to get this to about the 20, but that is well short of what he needed. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. And his kick is indeed good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up a terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points, but that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Losers in the season opener on Sunday. They get that quick turnaround 96 hours later. Here we go. They're back at it. And I've got to think, especially early in the year, that's a good thing for these guys, is it not?
It absolutely is. And we've seen it many times demonstrated over the years. Teams have a rough opening game, have to play the Thursday game. That quick turnaround allows them to go ahead and throw the other game out, focus on the new one, and typically they play much better in game 2. So I would agree with you totally on that.
Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here, 3rd and a yard. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he will have a Cowboys 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half. I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he'll get what he can up the middle, 3 yards. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Play action. Now it's Locke. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Hands it off out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Here's Locke to throw. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
They're putting together a drive here in the final minutes of the half, but the coverage has been tight all game long, and they certainly want to keep them up the scoreboard here.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while, but when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
Well, maybe a moral victory of sorts. They're on the board here late in the first half, but this offense just hasn't looked that sharp.
Yeah, but at least they got the 3 points, right? At least have something to, quote-unquote, hang their hats on and maybe feel a little bit better about themselves as they head to the half.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And now consider the lead. The question is, how much is good enough? Are you going for more?
It's the NFL. There's never enough, I believe, because they get reeled in all the time when you sit on the ball. I think that they will try and move the ball downfield and try and squeeze a few more points out of this first half. They'll be careful. They'll be a little bit cautious at times, but also they will attack downfield and try and get in position for at least 3 points.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, he certainly didn't like what he saw at all from the coverage on his primary reads, and he didn't even have any luck trying to get back to his safety valve. Give defense a credit. Coverage was in lockdown mode everywhere.
Throwing, Jones. Oh, he's going to look downfield for Barkley. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And the Giants send out their punter now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Officially, that'll go as a 52-yard punt. Not too shabby. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use. He's got a man, complete. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30. A big play there just before halftime. And even 50 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. Now a timeout called for by the defense as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Locke going to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cowboys. A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Cowboys get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Point after, right down the middle. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with a 7-point lead, they'll likely look to take this to the locker room and not really press the issue. And he fires one that's intercepted. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training. So he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number one. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. To throw it is Locke. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust.
He's got a man, complete. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. A big play there just before halftime. 45 yards. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. Up the middle with Barkley. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. He hit his first. Now this one from 48 yards away. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle. So we've reached halftime here at MetLife Stadium with the Giants out in front. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the third quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
Locke's throw there taken in by Smith. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 22 yards there, a first down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll get it across midfield down to the 49.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going. And then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing now is Locke.
A quick throw knocked away and incomplete.
Yeah, their back's up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Locke. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Giants' 18. 18 yards the gain for number 18.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, they'll try to run it.
And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there. And now here's another interception.
Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Giants are going to have it here at their own 15.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
They begin with a run by Barkley. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. Just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
Another strong gain on the last 2 plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards.
Things looking much rosier for them here in week 2. They work with the lead as they've got it 1st and 10.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And this is caught. It's Brown. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the 3rd quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down. And
into double coverage, and it's intercepted.
And the Cowboys are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. So a potential momentum shifter there, working with a 2-score lead, 3rd quarter, but that Not the smartest of throws.
I would agree with you on that one because this game is still very much in the balance. It felt pretty one-sided to this point, but now if these guys can turn this turnover into points, things could start getting a little more interesting.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Now Locke. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Smith. And he will have a Cowboys first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Well, thanks for joining us here on a Thursday night in the NFL. Third quarter, 2nd and 10 coming up. Here's Locke. And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points. And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Now he's going to throw deep right side. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. This is taken around the 12. Now a hit and a loose football.
And that's what friends are for.
As the returner, you know who you're buying dinner for later.
Oh, without a doubt, because he just took care of you and your team in a big way. You know, you turn it over there, that's a big momentum changer, and put your defense in a bad spot.
The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Pass complete across the formation to Melton.
And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. This drive starting off on the right foot, 18 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. On that play, he's able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
A first down carry for Barkley. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. An ideal spot here to get a first down and try to run some more clock, and this is 2nd and less than a yard. Back to throw. Atkins. He's going deep for Brown. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off the game.
And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
73 yards rushing now for Barkley. It's a first down.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front seven, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing, slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
And this is caught. Touchdown.
Bo Melton
With his second touchdown of the night.
And the Giants are an extra point away from making this a 3-score game.
This offense certainly looking a lot more comfortable here at home. They lost last week in the opener on the road, but there's something about that home opener makes you feel more settled.
Yeah, I wish we could quantify it, too, because you're playing the same game. The field's the same, size. We know all of that. But being at home, sometimes when you do things well, you get that extra push from your home fans, and it elevates your game.
And in the driver's seat right now, the kicking team out there for the Giants as they will send this one away.
Taking it about the 1. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game.
And, my goodness, another interception.
Picked up by Marco Wilson. And the Giants are going to take possession of the football.
Well, to be frank, CD, this is getting tough to watch. I mean, you feel for him, but 6 interceptions, that's at a whole new level. It's not a good level.
It makes it tougher and tougher to come up with ways to try and support him. But you have to as a team because you can't just throw your quarterback aside. You're going to need him later on. But it reminds me of a time that a former defense coordinator of mine told me he was in a game where his quarterback threw 7 interceptions. So after the 6-1, one of the defensive players went to the quarterback and said, here's what you do. Throw the ball to the other team, and let's see if our receivers can pick it off and turn it into a completion.
That's just mean. I don't know that I'd go down there and say that to him right now. Probably pretty fragile.
This one caught. It's the tight end Hawkinson.
Touchdown, Giants.
KingJay Hawkinson.
25 yards for the touchdown.
And the Giants are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
Extra point right down the middle. And the lead is now 24. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Taken at the goal line. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
This offense returning out there, and really, you remember the last drive, Charles, it was over before it even began. They threw the interception on the very first play.
And what that means is for all these guys, it's been a while since they've been out there going full speed, so they've got to get everyone back out there, run a couple of your go-to plays, make sure you get your offense oiled up a little bit. They've got to be able to start fast, but they've got to be efficient as well.
Especially the quarterback.
Now a deep ball going to be caught here near midfield. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Clock now to throw. This is caught by Evans. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 2 chunk plays in a row. The last one was over 20 yards, and so is this one. Now Lock again. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 23 yards on the play. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They look to throw. It's Lock. And this is caught for a Cowboy touchdown. Mike Evans from 8 yards out.
And the Cowboys are able to cut into that deficit. Lock going to try and throw for it.
He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away.
He will return this from deep in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. This game was really a tussle, seemed like just a moment ago, and now they've got the momentum. A couple of scores on their last pair of drives, and a 2-score lead. I think here now you go conservative, right? Run the football, work the clock.
You know, I usually agree with you, but I'm going after them right here. I want to put this bad boy away. I wouldn't be afraid to throw it. They've got all the confidence, all the momentum on their side. Go ahead and take your dagger shots and try and finish this one off.
I disagree vehemently. I say run the football. You've got the lead.
Well, let's watch it and find out who's right.
And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. And he's going to be taken down right at the line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Now Austin. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And we have reached the 2-minute warning. And they'll try to squeeze in one more play here before the 2-minute warning. Now a play fake, and here's Locke. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Now Locke. And this is caught by Evans. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Here's Locke. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play. One that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Locke. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Xavier McKinney. And the Giants are going to take over once again at their own 25-yard line. The number 7 usually lucky here. Not for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he had won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer the last to do it in 2001 to throw 7 picks. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They'll go to Barkley again. Give him 3 on the run there. Now they're looking at a 3rd and about 5. I guess the simple question, why not just take a knee there?
I don't understand either why you would take any sort of a chance. We've seen it happen in the game of football. Doesn't matter whether you've watched high school, college, or the NFL. Some people get a little greedy, try to get that extra running play in, and it can backfire on them.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3. The Cowboys signal for their 3rd and final timeout as they stop it with 28 seconds to go in this football game. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. What do you do here down like this in this situation? Do you maybe just pick something out of the playbook you haven't called in a while, or you call it a day?
You can do that, or you pick something that's a staple for you and should work better and try and execute that on the way out the door and maybe get back to base and feel a little bit better as you end a ball game that's been a frustrating one for you.
Let's see if they go back to base. Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well.
If this offense can't get it done, they'll think back to just a few plays and say to themselves, this was a winnable game, and we let it get away. Still a chance to save it. The time's definitely running out.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Oh, I thought he had that one, and that was really a big third down conversion to give this drive some life. Instead, they're on the spot and help separate the receiver from the ball.
Now Locke, gotta have this one. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's knocked away and incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Jones with a handoff to Barkley.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. Not